free, I'll be happy as can be, like a birdie in the tree. When I grow up, there's lot I want to do. I will have real dollies too, like the woman in the shoe.
What breed is Maguncia?
Maguncia is the Falabella, which is the breed of horse that comes from Argentina, bred by the Falabella family, and they've been breeding them for 150 years.
And are they any relation to a Shetland pony?
No, they actually come from the Andalusian horse, which the Spaniards left there years ago.
And you are breeding them in Australia at the moment?
We're attempting to. We hope that she's in foal.
And how are you going with breeding?
Oh, pretty good. He served 6 mares last year, and they're all in foal, due to drop foals about January.
He's done extremely well. He's a bit stroppy today because he's left a great paddock full of little girlfriends home in the paddock.
Oh, well, that'd make any boy stroppy, wouldn't it?
Naturally.
And what are they used for, these horses?
Well, you can pull a cart with them. They'll pull 2 people in a cart. A small child can ride them. Some people say, what can you use them for? Maybe they think they're useless. But then let's look at a diamond ring. Girls even marry guys just to get a diamond ring, and they're quite useless.
You know, this could really catch on. I could start a whole new trend. Domestic horses. It's house training them that's going to be the problem.
I think if you were to ask most ladies, I think they might prefer the diamond ring. I tell you what, he looks like a quiet little fella. Most of those little horses can be a bit nasty. This is Ladies' Day, Oaks Day, of course. Some great fashions around Flemington, and Flemington looking a lot brighter now. It's very windy, though. We weren't having much wind when the rain was coming. At about 10:30 this morning now, it's really come up. One of the favourite pastimes, Joan McGuinness, I guess, is holding the hat on.
How did you guess, Tim? Here I am, holding my hat on. But David Chilling, who is with me, the world's top miller.
Oh, pretty woman shows the rising sun, says, oh, yeah, cheap paint and powder ain't gonna help you none, 'cause she's a pretty woman right now to her bone. So you might as well leave your skin alone. Pretty woman, what's the matter with you?
Oh, definitely very cute. Look at those two. The ladies all having a ball here. Oaks Day at Flemington. If you live in Melbourne, come and join us. It's a beaut day. We'll take a break. Back with more. Oaks Day 1990. Welcome back to Flemington on Oaks Day. And as you can see, the sun now out. And Flemington really is starting to look like it should look on Oaks Day. The sun shining and everybody having a fabulous time down there on the members' lawn.
When Bart Cummings launched his book in October '88, the 2 most enthralling chapters were yet to be written. The one about his financial ruin 1 year later, and the chapter he wrote on Tuesday, how he's fought back from a year of fines and fire sales and bad health and debts of millions of dollars to again win the most important sporting event in this country, a record 8th Melbourne Cup. As Kingston Rule was coming back to scale, Bart Cummings was telling a little of his story.
Were there ever any doubts that you would win another one?
Well, the more they said I was finished, I said it's better to be a has-been than never been one at all. So I decided I didn't want to like being a has-been, so I had to get busy and get cracking. And we got luck, fortunate enough, we got this horse to train from David, and it's lovely for him also. It's a homebred horse. The first time I've trained the winner of a homebred horse. I normally have bought them myself.
This was September '89. The fire sale to unload 80 young horses he'd bought for $23 million in a failed syndication scheme. Like so many other high flyers, Cummings was a victim of the times, and even liquidation left him owing millions.
Over $6 million.
And who's going to pay for that?
Well, we will be looking to recover that money from Mr. Cummings.
For once, the vision, the eye to see a winner years ahead, had let Cummings down, and many said he was finished. no longer the Cup's king, and tarnished a reputation which began when he spotted an ugly foal by the dip and transformed her into the gallant mare, Light Fingers. After that came the years of Galilee, Red-Handed, Think Big Twice, Golden Black and Hyperno, plus the one that got away, 1970, when this inquiry investigated the nobbling of Bart's champion, Big Faloo.
Hyperno and Red Nose are cutting him down. Salamander, Hyperno on the outside, picking up Salamander. Salamander and Hyperno, they split the line.
But since Hyperno, it had been 11 years since J.B. Cummings had won racing's most treasured prize. And in the past year, he spent plenty of time staying out of the spotlight.
Today, Bart Cummings showed signs the pressure is taking its toll. He refused to comment on his financial position, asking simply for a nice day at the races.
It's a year in which he's battled liquidation, had both knees reconstructed, been fined $5,000 for taking a horse to the races with a prohibited drug in its system, and faced battles that would have made lesser men quit. But Bart Cummings gave his answer on the turf he knows best, the long straight at Flemington.
Bart's 8th Cup and Kingston Hall wins the Melbourne Cup.
Whether this cup gave him more satisfaction than any other, well, Bart Cummings isn't given to big statements. But in a nation at a time when tall poppies are wilting like roses in the midday sun, J.B. Cummings is the one that came back.
Well, what about that then, eh? Bart Cummings again, 8 Melbourne Cups. A fantastic effort, Bart Cummings, and he is the Cups king. I don't think Dan will ever see that in our lifetime.
Great story there by Neil Kearney, great comments made by John Letts towards the end of it, and a great man, one of the greatest ever seen in Australia's racing history. Bart Cummings, a salute to you, your 8th Melbourne Cup winner to create history on Tuesday. Well, there could be a Melbourne Cup winner in the next, there could be a Blue Diamond or Golden Slipper winner. Bob Mormel, is there money? This winner, Premier Copper. Let's have a look at the totes. For the Oaks, Triscay $3, $3.10 Lycra, $5.25 Whisked, $2.75 Beachside and favourite, $4.70 Rockets Galore, $8.70 All Mine, $3.90 Weekend Delight. Over the page, and we'll see a couple of more horses in the bidding, including Let's Hurry at $9.40, and Sandhills would be about the best of the others at about $12. So, Tim, the Oaks is hotting up. There's some brilliant fillies in that race. It's going to be a marvellous event, and we've got some ripper fillies in the next event, race 2, the Louis Vuitton.
We certainly have indeed. We'll take a break. The Louis Vuitton about 10 minutes away. You're watching Oaks Day 1990 on Channel 10.
$142 because the rider was indisposed, and now they're all in the gates.
Bit of a shame for Gary Willits. Let's hope he's okay. He's certainly conscious, but I think he might be a little bit bruised. Now, the rest of the fillies have been locked away. The starter goes to his platform, so we're just about to get a start here. One of them playing up. Tobermory Girl almost got rid of Michael Clark in barrier 9. She settles. Right on racing. Oh, jumped very awkwardly. Not good, and Reddens out of the way, Tobermory Girl, when they jumped. And one of the first to begin would have been Not Related. Lemon Spice has got out quickly, and further out Lusty Habit going fast. Lemon Spice was trying to lead though in the early part, followed by Eileen May. Tobermory Girl gets through with Severe in the early part, a few of these green. Good Riddance after that bumper. The starts up running about 8th or 9th. Quathifa getting up on the inside. Wider out was Queen Slipper, followed by Abu Zabi, Dance for Dole. Eileen May's under a lot of pressure back midfield, and they were followed by Triumphal Rowan, Strand Princess, Mims Delight, and Righteous Ladies went out the back with Gallaret. 400 metres to go. Not Related shaken up on the inside by Dipman, led Lemon Spice and Lusty Habit. Tobermory Girl, Abu Zabi down the outside, then Severe and Good Riddance. Lusty Habit goes up on the outside of Not Related. Abu Zabi out wider. Lusty Habit the grey in the middle. Not Related the fence. Lusty Habit in front. Abu Zabi wearing it down over the top of them. Abu Zabi went up to Lusty Habit, 50 to go, and Abu Zabi's going to win. Abu Zabi beat Lusty Habit and Not Related. 4th in would have been Severe. Close up behind those was Lemon Spice, and then came Good Riddance. Gee, she was unlucky. Dance Floor Dole Quathifa. Next in would have been well back in the field. Eileen May never a chance today, and they were followed in by Queen Slipper, Triumphal Rowan, Strand Princess, then Lambert Miss, and well back Righteous Lady, Tobermory Girl, Mims Delight. Gallaret was one of the last ones in.
Danny, I think you can just forget that Eileen May ran in the race, and also Good Riddance. I think she got knocked out of the race, as you say, early in it, and oh gee, it was after that it was just a procession, wasn't it? That Not Related looked the winner, 400 from home, and then along came here's the start, and you'll see the green and white colours at the back. Nearly the last horse away now, but the horse that drew inside came out sideways, and the horse on the outside just went straight across it.
Really did knock her out of the race, didn't it?
Dan, when you're racing over 1,000 metres, you can't afford this to happen, because they've run smart time, and like she's back in behind a wall of horses now. That's just taken her confidence away from her altogether, and she looks like she's a filly. She might be a little bit fractious, as we've seen her before the race, and she races in blinkers, so forget that she ran. The money was there to say she could win. She hasn't won today, but stick with her. The interesting part about it, Dan, I was going to mention before the race, was Greg Hall always rides for the David Balfour stable when he comes to Melbourne, and yet he rode a horse number 9 called Lusty Habit, which wasn't in the betting, and I thought, gee, Greg...
Big run.
Yes, Greg must think this goes pretty good, and it's only just got beaten.
Just got beaten. Lee Friedman is the trainer of Abu Zabi, a very impressive filly. He produced another one on Saturday, which finished a place, Lady Purpose, in the Maribyrnong Plate, and he have to be wrapped with that performance.
She was most impressive, Dan. Lee's with me now, and she looks as though she's got a makings of a pretty smart filly, Lee.
Yeah, she's a lovely filly. You know, she's eligible for the Magic Million, and we bought her up there last year. I think we paid $40,000 for her, and we'd given her a trial up the straight, and she went. We trialled her with open horses, and she finished in a place amongst the open horses. So I said to the owners today, we're drawn a bit awkwardly, but if she tracks right, she'll run a big race, and it was a good result.
As it turns out, the barrier may have been some sort of advantage with the other horses playing up there, and she was one of the last to be loaded up.
I think that probably had something to do with it, plus the fact that it kept her clear of all the interference and babies running around and that sort of thing.
All right, Lee, well done.
Thanks very much.
Lee Friedman, the winning trainer in race number 3.
Cracker. Abu Zabi, $9.70 and $2.35. Lusty Habit, $4.60. Not Related, $80. Quinella, $164.30. And the trifecta, $1,834.90 on 3, 9 and 1.
Well, you're right, Dan. There's some very beautiful, colourful looking rugs being presented today, but I guess you'd expect that from Louis Vuitton. There's another one, and she's a smart little mare, is Abu Zabi. Black at the moment, Dan, is Galaxy Dancer.
Yeah, very short, Tim. $1.25 and 55. Very, very short. Has been most unlucky in his last couple of starts, but it is his first try at 2,000 metres. Admittedly, he has been looking for that distance. 5.55 for the South Australian Durbridge, 3.80 Devotee, 1.25 Galaxy Dancer. The rider for number 8, Sir Banks, is now Darren Beatman, the Melbourne Cup winning jockey, replacing Gary Bullets. Over the page, we've got Power Zam at $8.50, just under $100,000 in the win pool. As we go down to the mounting yard, Peter Donegan likes Galaxy Dancer. Graham Kelly selects number 6, Morven Warrior. And Pete, we're going to find out who the doctor likes.
We are indeed, Dan. Well, Galaxy Dancer is mine, as we've just seen, Docky, but no value at the 6-4 on the tape.
He has come up very short, hasn't he, Pete? And this horse got into a lot of trouble on Saturday in the Carbine Club Stakes. Came from a long way back, and it does look like the 2,000 will suit. But he's very short on the tote and really doesn't represent value at all. There's not too many chances, though. I thought number 3, Devotee from Sydney in the Graham Begg stable, showing good promise up there in Sydney. He looks a good chance. And number 6, Morven Warrior, who didn't quite get a run in the Derby on Saturday, was one of the emergencies. He was quite well fancied, Pete, and I think he must be a good chance in this if they gave him a chance in a race like the Derby.
All right, the thoughts of Dr. Turf there on race number 4 on the card. As we said, Galaxy Dancer around about a 6-4 chance on the opening tote here for the 4th event. Bobby, any better available?
He's looking terrific as usual on Oaks Day here at Flemington, and still plenty of time for you to get down here too. The Oaks is at 3 o'clock, still an hour away, and we've got the 4th to come at 2:20. We're at Flemington for Oaks Day 1990. Don't go away. Schiller Stakes at 2:20. Join us.
Oaks Day, some of the scenes from around the racecourse, and a big crowd here consisting mainly of ladies on this traditionally Ladies' Day. The Hardy Brothers Jewelers Stakes is race number 4. It's a 2,000 metre event, and they start alongside the Maribyrnong River and run alongside the river for about 3 furlongs, about 600 metres, and then start that long sweeping turn from about the 1,400 until the top of the straight at the 550. Durbridge on the Victorian Tote is at $6. Bright Kite, $9.50. He's My Fancy. $2.90 Devotee. Good money for it. $1.35 for Galaxy Dancer. $2.35 Morven Warrior. $5.25 for Sir Banks. There's a tip around for it. Powzam, $9.65. It's stablemate. And we've got pretty big odds the rest of the field. Number 11, Swoop Willow, will be wearing the all-white colours of the club, and there's $164,000 in the win pool. That's the scene from the mounting yard and the trophy in view. And we'll have a look at Peter and Graham Corbinick on the inside. Lights on, and they're off and racing now. Morven Warrior a bit slow, Deadly Addiction likewise. And one of the first horses to bound away from the stalls was Swoop Willow in the all-white colours. Getting up on its inside, Devotee, and they were followed out deeper by Galaxy Dancer, and final ace, Durbridge was up there as well. Powzam, Corbinick on the fence. It's about 7th or 8th, and Bright Kite's going forward deep from Reversion. Then Deadly Addiction, and followed by Stylish Clipper, Sir Banks, the last Morven Warrior. They have about 1,500 metres to travel, and Swoop Willow led 3/4 of a length to Bright Kite, a length and a half to Durbridge on the outside of Devotee, a length away Deadly Addiction and Galaxy Dancer. Then Corbinick, followed by Stylish Clipper, Powzam, 1.5 Reversion, final ace, Sir Banks and Morven Warrior. Only about 8 to 10 lengths would cover them up as they go towards the 1,200, and the leader is Swoop Willow. Swoop Willow led 3/4 of a length now, going up second, Deadly Addiction, a length away Bright Kite, 1.5 away in 4th position, Devotee. They were followed by Durbridge and Reversion around them 3 wide, 1.5 to Corbinick and Galaxy Dancer. Then Stylish Clipper, Powzam, final ace, and 2 lengths away Sir Banks and Morven Warrior. They have 1,000 metres left to travel, and Swoop Willow, one of the outsiders in front, led by a length and a quarter, Deadly Addiction. Then Bright Kite getting off the fence. Devotee went up on its inside, Reversion deep, a length and a half away, then a Durbridge running on, followed by Corbinick, Galaxy Dancer. Then final ace, Morven Warrior, Sir Banks and Powzam towards the tail. Stylish Clipper's gone back to last as they approach the turn with about 600 metres left to travel. Flat out, Swoop Willow just led on the corner from Deadly Addiction, a length and a half to Bright Kite. Running on fairly well, Devotee, as they made the turn. Sir Banks tried to get up on the rails as Deadly Addiction went to the front. 400 metres to go. One of the outsiders, Deadly Addiction, in front by 2. Bright Kite second, then Durbridge, followed by Devotee. Sir Banks getting out. Deadly Addiction went for home. 300 metres to go. One of the jockeys lost the whip there. Deadly Addiction, a length and a half in front. Here's Durbridge and Galaxy Dancer. Durbridge went up on the outside to take the lead from Deadly Addiction. Durbridge got to the front, the top weight, and Durbridge is going on to score impressively. Durbridge wins a length and a quarter. Second, Deadly Addiction. Third, Galaxy Dancer, flashing home Stylish Clipper. It was a nice effort from Bright Kite and Sir Banks. Then Morven Warrior, Powzam, final ace, Devotee, Corbinick, and back towards the tail, Swoop Willow and Reversion. Number 1, Durbridge, the winner. Number 1 first, 1, 5 and 4. John, you get to see a lot of this horse being in Adelaide. Gee, it was a tough win today with 56.5 at his first try of a 2,000, and there was no worries about getting the distance. He really finished it off.
Yes, Dan, and I think I said to you Saturday, he was the unlucky horse of the race on Saturday behind pre-record, and I thought he had a great chance in the race today, and he was at terrific odds, you know, $6 for a win, and he's one of those little horses that he's only had 13 starts now for 4 wins, and but he settled beautifully in the run. The horse that I was a little bit disappointed was Devotee. He had every chance. Duffy rode him very well, but he just couldn't get the 2,000 metres. And the horse that looked a little bit unlucky was Galaxy Dancer. I think that was the jockey, Stephen King, that dropped his whip. I think he called it about 200 metres out.
Just went flying through the air.
Just went flying through the air, and I think you'll see the whip go here in a moment. That's him trying to push through between in the orange and the blue.
Almost obscured for the moment.
Yes, he's almost obscured. I think you'll find he might get it.
Yep.
There it is.
Yep, you did right.
There's the whip going through the air now.
Yep.
And, you know, to go down by such a narrow margin, you could say he was unlucky. But the winner has given him weight and a beating, so take nothing away from Durbridge.
Deadly Addiction was a cheeky run, the second horse.
It was a cheeky run. He broke out badly, Dan, before the race too. So, I mean, as we said earlier, you can discount that today. If the horses are sweating, well, don't take any notice of it. If you see your horse sweating before the race, well, don't give up hope, because they're running well, even though they are perspiring.
But Durbridge, I was most impressed with this because he was pretty much wide throughout, and even here, Deadly Addiction looked the winner. 2 or 3 in front. The others looked too far behind him, but Durbridge really closed with that vigour from Mickey Dettman. He's a champion jockey, and he really got him to the post because the horse was under a bit of pressure, but he did respond.
He's an honest little horse. He's not very big though, Dan, you know, but he's carried 56.5 today very well. I think it's his first try over 2,000 metres, so, you know, can't do any more than win with top weight, can you?
Certainly not. We'll find out how good the horse is. We'll talk to the trainer down in the mounting yard.
And it's Brian Murphy, Dan, with us after the running of race 4. Brian, congratulations. Good, solid win, that.
Yes, it was a very good win. I thought he raced a little bit too fresh here on Saturday, and I thought that today he'd settled better, and of course he did and raced much better.
Was that his first go over 2,000?
Yes, it was. He's run over a mile before in the size produce in Adelaide, but this is the first time over 2,000 metres.
Of course, when you have 56.5, you need the horsemanship, and Mick Dittman, when he hits them, they stay hit, don't they?
Well, it was a great thrill to race here at Flemington, to carry #1 Saddlecloth, and to have the best rider, and to top it all off by winning the race, so it was a great thrill to me.
Well, Brian, you're going to get another thrill in a minute as he comes back to the winner's stall. Congratulations.
Thanks very much.
Brian Murphy, the winning trainer in race 4, the Hardy Brothers Jewelers Stakes.
It's 1, 5 and 4 as they come back to scale. Mick Dittman aboard Durbridge. We'll take a break, come back. The next one, don't forget, is the big one, the Argyle Diamond Oaks. Durbridge paid $6.20 and $1.50. Deadly Addiction, $3. Galaxy Dancer, 75 cents. Quinella, 77.55. And the trifecta, $502.75. And the numbers 1, 5 and 4. The Oak Stakes, Group 1 for fillies over 2,500 metres. And the list of winners just goes on and on. They're great horses. Go back to 1981. The mare that won that day was called Rose of Kingston. She's the mum of this year's Melbourne Cup winner, Kingston Rule. Triscay, Lycra, Whisked, Beachside, Rockets Galore, All Mine, Weekend Delight, all undeniable chances. Barberia, Cronies Hope at pretty good value. Over the page to number 10, Let's Hurry at 9.30. Aroma's huge odds. She'll start the outsider of the field. Sand Hills, Daughters Charm and Tassold. They all have good each-way chances at big odds. Highlights, Brighton Dolly and Twilight Zone down the bottom are 3 of the long shots in this great race, the Oak Stakes, and it started in 1861, so it's got a huge history, just as long as the Melbourne Cup. And it should be a great race, and Dr. Turf's been working overtime to get his tip for this one. I know that, Peter.
Yes, he has indeed, and it's a very, very hard race to try and forecast the winner, as you said, Dan. They've come up round about 9-2 the field on the Victorian Tote. It's a wide-open race. It's been won by some great fillies over the years. This year is going to be no exception, but just as to which one it is, Docky, well, that's the problem.
I'm not too sure, Pete. I'm going to have to stick with Whisked. I know she seemed a little bit disappointing on Saturday, but I think with the run under her belt, the 2,500 metres should suit. Slight worry being drawn barrier 1. Triscay, got to be a doubt at the distance here, but she's a brilliant filly and finally drawn a good barrier. And Lycra, of course, finished so well on the Derby. Didn't really do much work in the run. Got rails runs everywhere, but I think she'll run the distance right out. And of the others, maybe Weekend Delight, who had a checkered run in the straight in the Wakeful on Saturday. She is the one that is actually bred to run the distance of the Oaks, Pete.
All right, Dr. Turf's thoughts on the Argyle Diamond Oak Stakes. A bit of excitement creeping into the air now. They're setting up the stalls at the 200-metre mark in the straight, so the Oaks isn't far away. I'm sure there's plenty of excitement in the betting ring, Bob Morwell.
Yeah, there's lots of excitement down here. Of course, the fashions are in evidence, as you can see. Plenty of beautiful young ladies, but a lot of determined punters. And they've made Triscay is favourite at 3-1. Second favourite, oops, shouldn't have given the price, but I did. Triscay is favourite, just ahead of Lycra, about half a point better than Lycra. Beachside is well out, and in my opinion, above the quote that I thought she'd be, as is Whisked. I thought Whisked would be a lot tighter in the market, but she's a generous each-way odds. Weekend Delight is one that they've put a little bit of money on. They fancy Weekend Delight, and that's been solidly supported against Triscay. And there's been continuing string of small bets for Rockets Galore, but right now in the ring, Triscay, a firm favourite. Tim, are you up there? We'll go back to you right this very minute, son.
I am, Bobby, I am. I was just being a bit mindful of the fact you might have another Dill behind you there, but it looks like you've avoided him.
Yeah, well, here they... Mate, you give them a diploma in a college education, they turn into the village idiot, unfortunately.
But still having a good time. Well, the big one's not far away. The Oaks is a race for the fillies, the 3-year-old fillies, best in the land. And like the Derby and the Cup, it's got an incredible tradition.
It's the Oaks, and it's definitely Ladies' Day. Its tradition goes back to the 1870s, when the ladies were encouraged to parade on the members' lawn of famous Flemington. The theory was to attract the ladies, and the men will follow. And the main attraction is the Oaks Stakes for 3-year-old fillies, run over 2,500 metres. The Oaks was first run and won in 1861 by Palestine, and through the years, some great fillies have proven their worth over the distance. Like Evening Peel, the winner in 1955, and one of only 2 fillies to go on and win the Melbourne Cup. The other being Lightfingers, the first of Bart Cummings' 4 Oaks winners, who won the Cup in 1965 and shared the limelight with another sensation of that year's carnival, Jean Shrimpton. Oaks Day is a day for leggy fillies, elegant ladies and roses. It's going to be a classic race. As I mentioned before, some fantastic names have won this event, including Surround, the champion filly of 1977, and Rose of Kingston in 1981. Rose of Kingston made it to Secretariat 5 years ago, and they produced Kingston Rule, who wins the Melbourne Cup winner on Tuesday. Fabulous race. Peter Donegan, you've seen plenty of Oaks, and really only the best fillies usually win it, but this year I think there's 6 or 7 of them.
I think there's at least 6 or 7, Dan. You go back over the years, more recent years, as you said. Research, of course, was a horse of the year, went on to win a Derby. Tristanar's win last year was outstanding, and this year one filly is going to join the Parade of Champions, and it could very well be a filly that went around here on Saturday afternoon, and her name was Lycra. She ran in the Derby. It's a fleet that Born to be Queen tried a couple of years ago, ran a place in the Oaks but wasn't able to win, and Lycra was outstanding. She's in the pink with the blue armbands, and you can see her running on strongly into 4th placing with Fire Oak and Centro battling it out, and there you can see hands and heels to the line. Lycra was stretching out well at the end of the 2,500 metres. Dan, I'd be interested to find out your opinion, backing up twice in probably about 5 days over 2,500 metres. Is it going to be too much for Lycra?
Well, we were talking about Rose of Kingston before. She ran 3rd in the Derby on the Saturday and then came out and won the Oaks, but she was the superior filly. I don't think Lycra's had that superiority in the spring this year, but she has been unlucky. If she does get the luck today, she's certainly one of the chances, but it is a tough and hard ask. One thing she's got on the other runners is that she's been over 2,500 metres before. Not one other filly in the race has been over further than 2,200 metres. Graham Kelly, again, I say to you, you've seen plenty of Oaks. With that filly being over the 2,500 before Lycra, that would have to help her chances, but backing up twice in 5 days is very, very difficult for a filly.
Well, John Wheeler's a very good trainer, Dan. I feel he would have taken that all into account before deciding to run Lycra in the Derby on Saturday. She ran a nice race. She wasn't knocked about in the concluding stages, and I don't think that run will do her chances any harm in today's race. It's interesting that David Hayes is very confident about the chances of Beachside, who won the Wakeful Stakes here on Saturday. He feels she's just coming right, and he feels she'll run the 2,500 metres out. Bart Cummings is not quite so confident about the chances of Weekend Delight. He declares her a good each-way chance, but he's not prepared to go as far as to say that she will win the race. But I'm going back to Lycra as my selection, Dan.
Yeah, well, she's pretty popular with a lot of people around the place. Peter Crackers Keening is down in the Birdcage Crackers. The horses will be coming to the mounting yard fairly shortly. It is a tough race to pick the winner of, in particular this year. In the past, perhaps it hasn't been, but you might have some more inside information.
Well, I'm just down here with David Hayes, and he's settling up Beachside, and they're quietly confident. The filly looks an absolute treat, and as usual, David's put the polish on the Hayes polish, but she is my pick in the race, but very relaxed in the Birdcage, and that's very important for a filly before. She's got to go 2,500 metres. It's a very hard race, but you know, she's backed up well since the last run, and as you can see, she's just relaxing there, and nothing's worrying her. Even me being close by, it's not even upsetting her.
Thanks, Crackers. And there is a big tip on track I've noted since I got here today. Big tip I've heard whisk about 4 or 5 times. A horse I didn't really consider a chance after her performance Saturday, but big tip, big mail around for whisk today, Tim. So it's anybody's race. It's an open race. Anything could win.
Still like Lycra, but then again, as I said before, I'm no expert. I just like Lycra.
Colours of the horse.
We'll have a look at the entire field and much more. With 20 minutes to go to the Oaks, we'll take a break and come back to Flemington.
Jack.
Well, I heard a rumor spread about a scene between you and me, so I traced the story back. Now I ask, how can it be? Girl, if you're to blame for all of this, you'll learn a thing or two when I get my hands on you.
Well, the ladies at Flemington looking terrific. What better way to spend your day? Sitting here and a little glass of champagne, having a lovely time at the Oaks of 1990. You're watching it exclusively on Channel 10 and about 16 minutes away from post time in the Oaks. Let's check and see what the 3-year-old filly's money's doing and who's putting what on what with Bobby Mormel in the betting ring.
Thanks, Tim. Gee, it's a good betting race, this. There seems to be money for about half a dozen.